So right now we're going to be switching over to WeDigBio. Were you able to write in your commentary, Roland?
So is it, sorry, what commentary?
Just for your notes thing, you were good there? You sent it into the marine creatures?
Like to showcase the project, right?
No, no, I'm sorry. I just meant you literally just added done and talk. Did you write in the sentence of what you thought it was? I
Oh,
think
and
you did.
marine creatures. Yeah, yeah, I sent it. Yeah. I
Okay,
actually
cool.
closed it after
Okay.
submitting that.
Yeah, you're good. That's good. Okay, so in that case, then I'm gonna go. Excuse me. I'm gonna go over how to connect again. So if you're joining us for the first time or hopping in from Facebook at any point, which I'll check every once in a while if there's anything on Facebook for us. But if you just joined at a certain time and you're not sure exactly what's happening, this is our 15th day of Citizen Science Month, and so we're spending the day with a 12-hour Palooza, a marathon of sorts of all Zooniverse projects. And so today we have a whole bunch of them. They're all citizen science projects on Zooniverse. And the way in which to make sure it's accurately counted for the 1 million acts of science means that we have to connect your two accounts. And so once you have a SciStarter account, you can go in and quick navigate for the project. So if I go, I'm going to exit out of there, go to this one. My quick navigate's in the corner. I'm going to write WeDigBio. Now this one is particular because it's a little bit different. So if I hit save to review later, I visit, not all of these are going to be automatically on SciStarter, so we are going to have to write our individual ones here. So, no, not what I meant. Find an online project. So we're going to go to Notes from Nature, I believe is what our main one was. Let me double check here. And our friend will be joining us for this one, which will help us figure out what would be most useful because he's one of the project leaders is going to join us to tell us about it. Let me go back. Oops. So in this hour coming up here in a moment, we have, yes, Notes from Nature. Yeah, totally. Okay. Oh, hey, there's my Spotify. Notes from Nature. Okay, so there will be a couple we're working on. I believe the ones that we're looking at are measuring bees, salamander temperature experiment, and herbarium. So I'll let our friend explain those a little bit more when he joins. It's Michael, who'll be joining us, not Matt. That's my bad. And then I think this is the right one. Let me double check. Bee Bonanza. I kind of want to click on that one to see. Oh, hey. Hi, Michael. Perfect timing.
How's it going?
It's great. I'm glad to see you. We're just going through the process of how to get your Zooniverse and SciStarter accounts linked up, so then people will be able to count their contributions across Zooniverse. So
Great.
for WeDigBio, or rather, not for WeDigBio per se, but for all Zooniverse, what you'll do is once you have your Zooniverse account, so in this case, I'm just sitting here ready for when we start the WeDigBio ones, but my account name, my profile name is EC Giles on Zooniverse. And so in my dashboard on SciStarter, I go to the way bottom where it says affiliation integration, and then you can link your accounts with the affiliate websites like iNaturalist is right here, and also Zooniverse. And so my Zooniverse username is now there, so that everything I do will also be tracked over, and I can show off just how awesome I am in all these projects that are listed um, as what are they called? Affiliates. Now let me double check because I think Notes from Nature, yeah, Notes from Nature, I think only has We Dig Florida plants. And so when we get to the end of this one, we'll probably have to show you how to do individual reporting your acts too. Because if it's not technically an affiliate, that's awesome. That's fine. We want all the projects to be involved. It's not just affiliates. And so when we actually submit our observations, when we go here by reporting our acts, you'll just have to write exactly which projects we did. So keep account of which projects you do. All right, I'll stop my share for a second. So I'm going to change your name on here because that's not your name. Project leader, guest, you are Michael. And then I'm going to put a comma for Notes from Nature just so we can. Michael. All right, cool. Do you want to introduce yourself and just share a little bit about why you're here?
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Michael Denslow. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the project coordinator for Notes from Nature. We've been around for about 10 years, and we do mostly natural history collection or related kinds of projects. So it's very much sort of nature, biodiversity focused. And we do lots of transcription, but we also do other things, which I'm hoping to maybe kind of show you a couple things, or at least we'll highlight those projects today. But just to be clear, Notes from Nature is like a larger project that has smaller projects underneath it. So the Zooniverse is often like you go and there'll be a project and then you have sort of a bunch of expeditions within it. But for us, we actually have a bunch of projects and then a bunch of expeditions within those. So it's a little unique in having sort of a big umbrella of different projects to work on.
Yeah,
Anything
different
else I
types.
can tell you about?
That was perfect. I'm so glad we get that extra bit. And you gave us 3 examples that we work on. Unfortunately, so I'm gonna hop on and leave Roland to work with you on these. But generally, what we've been doing is just explaining. We're picking a project for you, I believe. Was it bee bonanza? Was the bee measurement
That was
one?
one of the ones, yeah.
Okay, why don't we click on that one just to have it in front of us? But we've been going through what these projects mean for science. So what's the importance of it? So you can give us a little bit more insight about that instead of us going through the research pages and just talking about what we understand for it to be. And then you can just start working out. We'll have Roland demonstrate and you can kind of coach him on how it works. And you can stay as long as you want through the hour. And then we can essentially just start working hardcore. And I'll hopefully be able to join at some point back, but since it's 12 hours, I'm taking 30 minutes to do other work.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Roland, do you want to let me drop the link in the chat so you can go the same place I was. And then we'll have you take over that form. I think, and for anyone who's here, by the way, in the participant list, I'm allowing all of you to have talking ability. So if you ever want to unmute to share your thoughts about what's happening, or ask a question of our resident project manager, or any other things about SciStarter, 1 million X, etc., feel free. You can just unmute and start chatting. And then if anyone else shows up while we're chatting here, Roland, you'll be able to hit the permit talking for them.
Yes, and sorry, maybe you mentioned this, but are we specifically working on the bees sub-projects, or all the active ones are eligible?
There were 3 that we wanted to take a peek at. So I'll let you 2 decide if you want to switch over to a new one. So once you've had your fill of bees for a moment, you can switch to the others. I put it on our calendar invite, Roland, so you can find them there. It's the Florida plants, and then labs. It's the salamander temperature experiment, which I'm super psyched about. So hopefully I'll join from Facebook Live so that I can see what's going on and join back on when that one starts. Okay.
Thanks.
Cool. Okay. I will let you all chat for a bit. Actually, since I'll just stop my video and mute and have you on in the background.
Okay, I think it's time for me to share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
So I have a quick question before we jump to these sub-projects. When we see post projects or finished projects, or especially finished projects, does it mean that they won't ever get new batches of data, or is it like for sure these projects won't be available again to join?
Most likely the finished projects, it's unlikely, it's not impossible, but it's unlikely the finished projects will come back. The pause projects likely will, but some of those have been paused for a little while for various reasons. But like due to funding or different things, or like, you know, we don't have that specific data at the moment. So finished, unlikely to return, paused, very likely to return, and then active is, but it's kind of automatic. So like if an active project runs out of data, it moves to pause. So that's like an automatic change that happens. But finished, you have to really sort of change the settings and say, okay, we think this isn't coming back for a while, so we're going to put it down at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks for clarifying. So we're going to start with this one. I think it's my first time in this project. Yeah, and the cool thing is that any regular user can take a look to see the progress of the project.
And actually, if you click on the blue letters right above that stats ribbon there, you actually get to see a little more detail for each one, which I think is a little more helpful to people because then they can really understand. Like some people like to, oh, I see it's almost done. I want to jump in and help that one finish. Or, hey, I see this one's kind of low. I want to help them get more. So that little stats page can help make things a little more clear, I think. And then it can help you see like how many were done yesterday and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and these bars
Yeah, and
can
you can change
do,
that to like hours and days and different things. So
wow. Yeah, and number is appearing right here
yeah,
at
it
the top.
appears at the top. So
Also, 1,877 classifications.
that
I
was
think
on
that,
April 8th.
yeah. And on November 27, did you have an event or something that caused this spike?
That's a great question. I can't remember exactly what happened that day. I'd have to look back, but that's a really, really good day. That's not
It was a
typical.
Monday.
Yeah, that would be a exceptionally good day.
Yeah.
And this is just for this project. So that's not all notes from nature. That's everything. That's just this project.
7,000 in a day.
It's huge, huge.
Oh, and this is the field guide. Oh,
So yeah,
like
just a fun
yeah.
little thing to show you, kind of a little video, just to like if people like watching to sort of see how to do the measurements.
Does it replace the tutorial
A
or
little
the
bit. I mean,
tutorial?
it kind of gives you an idea, like, oh, we're measuring the scale. Like we need to set the scale of the image because we don't know exactly what it is. And then, so once you have that, you give it a known measurement, then you switch to the actual measuring portion and you measure between the wing pads, and that's basically it. So it's kind of just trying to give you in a nutshell what the goals are.
Are the talk stats in reference to when a user clicks down and talk?
Yeah, mostly it is. It's also any comments that are made, but most of these comments are going to be those, like you said, done in talk, what's called a note, which is made on a specific image. So that's what
Okay.
most of these represent. Yes.
And as a project leader, do these are these comments always helpful, or do you feel sometimes that uh, they also need a, a time investment to go through all the comments?
I think that most of the comments I think are more to help people be confident in their answers and to make sure they're understanding things. There definitely do a lot of comments come in that tell us things we didn't know. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of this happening. I'm seeing a lot of that. I found an image that's unclear. So, which tells us a lot about how to structure things going forward, or maybe if we made an error. So we learned quite a bit, but I would say the majority of the comments are questions or clarifications. And by the volunteers. I will say some people like to just make a comment like, "Hey, I made a decision to, to make this choice." That's totally fine. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a specific question. We always encourage people to talk if they want to and to say things and to interact. And it doesn't always have to be like some groundbreaking thing. It could just be whatever you want to say or whatever you want to tell us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then let's jump to the project. Okay, better understand the amazing bee biodiversity found worldwide. So I assume that it doesn't tackle the problem that bees are facing currently, right? This project is not about the colony collapse disorder or other challenges.
No, it's actually looking at bee size. So it's looking at like body mass and how that correlates to changes in, in temperature and so on and so forth. So it's actually more about understanding body mass specifically and how that's impacting bees.
Okay. And not just honeybees, right?
No, actually, it's mostly not honeybees. It's mostly native wild bees. So this particular one is actually, if you go back one page, um, so it's good to choose from the list down below. If you scroll down a little bit, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different. So it's good to use that menu because what happens is sometimes it remembers what you did last and that particular expedition could be finished. And so it will give you a little flag, but sometimes the flag is not obvious. So it can be good to pick from the list and then you make sure you're getting everything that that you want.
Okay. So these are for the species of the bees
It kind of
or the
depends.
cells of
Yeah,
cell.
this one is Xylocopa, so it's all the same genus. Um, this one is all carpenter bees, so it's like a family. Um, so some of them are kind of organized in different ways depending on what the scientists have available and how they've kind of packaged their images.
Okay. So let's try this one.
So that one's going to
California.
be, it's not going to be a measurement one though. That's going to be a transcription one.
Okay. So the country. I assume that all of these are United States because the sub-project is called California, or not necessarily. The source
Uh,
could be from the country.
most are United States. But and we try to put the most common answers towards the top, like US, Canada, Mexico. But yeah, most of these should be, the vast majority should be United States. It doesn't always say, so sometimes depending on your familiarity with the geography. But like in this one, we see Bakersfield, California. So, but obviously that's kind of a US centric decision. But yeah, this one doesn't actually explicitly state the country.
Okay. So I'm not in the US, so I'm doing some trial and error. Bakersfield,
So
the
the
doesn't.
county is actually Kern. So it says before it
Okay.
says Kern CO period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CO.
And then the locality would be Bakersfield, 18 East, basically E.
And the elevation
I'm
is
not seeing
this.
it. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to leave that blank.
Okay, so what happens if I click need some help? Okay. Uh, oh, let's try the elevation one. Yeah, it's not mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think so. I will note
So
that one thing before you go is we ask you to do it verbatim. So you wrote east, but it actually just says E. Um, so in your locality.
yeah,
So you can actually remove that because we find that it works better that if you say do it exactly, then it makes it easier for it to process the data.
okay. I think we're ready to go to the
Yep.
next one. Determination labels. Wow, okay.
So it's basically if you see another name listed, which I don't see, sometimes you'll see an additional name like that, but I'm not seeing one on this one.
Okay.
So I think it could
So
be
the
both.
collector is this part.
Yeah. J.W. McSwain.
Next. So treated plant or plant host? Could it be
Yeah, I'm not
this yet?
seeing. I think that says wrong abbreviation. That's just some kind of notes.
Yeah.
I don't think that's related to so I don't think there's associated plant, and I don't think there's any trapping type. Sometimes it'll say use this type of trap or whatever. And I don't see any symbol for sex. So
Okay, yeah, the image is zoomed out. Is this the species name?
yeah, that's pre-printed down in the corner, so that doesn't count as the annotation label because the annotation would be like an additional tag here.
Yeah. And next, begin months.
So
It's not
on
mentioned.
insect labels, a lot of times the month is a Roman numeral. So if you can see next to caliph,
Yeah,
it has
for
yeah.
April.
And then that's common with insect labels. They use those Roman numerals.
Okay. I'm not sure about these ones. Is this the day and the year? Like
I think
1958?
so. I think so.
Oh, 1958. Wow.
Yeah, so this one's pretty old. And then I don't see, sometimes you'll see like if a trap is left out, it'll be like
Yeah.
beginning and end. But since this one doesn't seem to be that kind of collection, there's no end date. So you can leave that blank.
Okay. And next, other notes.
Let's click on that and see if they want us to write wrong abbreviation.
Habitats and collecting.
Yeah, I
Could we
mean,
add uh, these parts? So
no,
the
that
ones
one.
we didn't use?
So if you read in the tutorial, it will say that that those numbers are you don't need to. Um, I think it's sort of an open question here whether you would write like those numbers. But the examples they give are like habitat or collecting times. So I think we can skip it, but I don't think you would be wrong if you entered the numbers like 645 and 700, but we don't really know what that means.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it wouldn't necessarily make sense.
right. So I think we could say done. I think other notes is always kind of hard because it's like it's hard to know what's important if you don't explicitly state it, you know?
Yeah. And how to identify a trap? Like, does this look a trap in this new photo?
So this one is called a point. So the insect is so small that you can't put a pin through it. So they put a point of paper and then they glue the insect to the point. So it's just because it's a very small bee, basically.
Okay. So if the previous image was from the 50s and if this one is from the 70s,
Yeah.
what's preventing the bees from decomposing further?
Yeah, it's amazing if you keep them away from light and heat and you preserve them properly, they stay like this for hundreds of years.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're kept in special drawers and, climate control, but they really will keep for hundreds of years and as long as they're not bumped or, like that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like people if you touch it, you could knock a wing off or something. So you have to be very careful, but
Yeah.
um, yeah.
So it's not like they are sprayed some special
No,
solution to.
no, and
Okay.
they don't it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. But if you're clumsy
Okay.
like me, you have to be careful not to bump them.
Yeah. So if we go through the tutorial, getting text of the pin specimens labels. it's really amazing how a layperson can practice or can participate in science in this way.
Yeah,
This is valuable data.
very valuable. Yeah.
Okay, touchpad, mouse wheel, humans. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I told Emma because sometimes if I'm not sure about the transcription or something, just to avoid feeling guilty about submitting something I'm so unsure about, I would simply refresh the page to get to be presented with a new photo.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, I would say do your best. It's okay if you make, errors, but if you don't like it, you can refresh and choose a new one. It's supposed to be fun. So don't stress too much. Like we don't mind at all. Like we want you to have fun, so it shouldn't feel too stressful.
And would you advise a new person to this project to pick to focus on one of these rather than seeing everything and under the
Well,
classify button?
let's
Is it
try a
easier for a newbie to see, like, would they be more uniform if they select one of these? Would it be easier in any way for them?
let's try the measurement. I think it might be a little easier because you only have to do really two things here. So the first thing we do is set the scale, right? So we just have to measure that small black.
Okay,
Uh,
so
okay, well, if you go need help with this task, it'll show you. Actually, you're just doing the small black block.
okay, so I'm going to cancel that. Like this part?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, 10 millimeters or whatever.
yeah, or 5. Yeah.
0.05,
Okay,
yeah.
0.5 meters.
So because basically the images don't have the same scale, so this is a way that we can like kind of make a calculation. And then you zoom in and you measure between let's click that so you can see the image. We have a little schematic in there.
To
Sorry,
click
under
the zoom
some
button.
help. Need some help.
Okay.
I don't, the images are loading a bit slow, but there's an image which shows how to measure between the wing pads. If you scroll down a little bit, you see you're kind of just trying to find the base of the wings and measure there.
Yeah.
It's called the tegula.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Yeah, so then you click the tegula length.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Measure the B.
And basically,
Yes.
that's just if you had a problem, that would give us a flag, kind of thing. If you said no, then we would know there was a problem.
Okay. And that's it.
So that one, I think, for some people like it because it's a little shorter, a little more straightforward. Some people like the typing, so it kind of depends a little on people's personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or if they did so many classifications under one method, they could go to the other one.
Yeah,
Like if they got a little bored or they want to try something new.
exactly. Oh yeah, I think. Oh, I guess you don't have to answer that last question, but that's okay. That's a big one.
Yeah. So again, this is black part. So I need to choose the narrowest part, right? So or actually I need to choose this section at the
Yeah,
insertion of the wing.
yeah, kind of right where the wing comes. Yeah, I think that's yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so before we jump to these other projects, what should we see here in this one? So we tried the measurement and the transcription. These
Mhm.
are the two main methods, right?
Yes.
And I assume that the field guide is different here. Oh, yeah,
Well,
where is it?
so the field guide in this one just explains the measurements because we didn't think that we needed anything for the tutorial. So you basically have like the tutorial, which is pops up when you first use it. Then you have your help text, which is the need some help. And then you have your field guide, which is like sort of bonus extra details.
Yeah, tutorial is very helpful. Okay, quick scan for the project. This is the team, the results.
So all of this data becomes publicly available. So we always like people to know, it can take a little time to process it. But basically everything we do, the data becomes public. It's not like being held for researchers only. This is very much an open access project. So the data can be used by anyone, anytime for free. Once we get it up on these portals, but it can take a little time sometimes, just depending on, the data processing.
And does the nature of this project allow like the opportunity to make some surprising discoveries, uh, or is it just for reinforcing the database? Like, could these images contain photos of species which were thought to be extinct or something?
I think it's possible that we could discover all kinds of things because you saw that like a lot of these aren't even digitized yet. So we're going to learn a lot from digitizing them, and we're also going to learn a lot from measuring them. So it's absolutely possible we could find new species. We could find species that we didn't know were present in a certain place. These are all possibilities from digitizing this data. Um, you know, once we can sort of process everything.
And you can compare the sizes of the bees under the same species then and now. Maybe correlate that with climate change or
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Exactly. Yep.
okay. I'll move to the other sub-project.
I think maybe the salamanders could be interesting.
That
Yeah,
one,
that
the
one. Yeah.
lab. Okay.
And this one,
Salamander.
this project has a little bit of a different setup, but it has a different version of the software. So yeah, you click on that yellow box there.
Okay. Okay, with tutorial and everything. So obviously this doesn't have anything to do with sizing or transcription.
No, it's like a heating experiment. It's like a climate change heating experiment. relating
Okay.
to the the bacteria that attacks the salamanders. So they're in like these enclosures, and then we just have to say where they are. Um, are they on the wall, the ground, or are they not visible? So the only thing that's kind of difficult about this is how to number the boxes. So if you scroll down, it shows you kind of how the need some help. Sorry, right there. Yeah, it kind of shows you how the numbers are the boxes are numbered. They're numbered from one in the upper left.
Okay. So that's one, and this is two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Correct.
If you can scroll down a little more, make sure.
2, ground. 3, 4. Yeah, it is confusing, at least for me, because this is my first time here.
I thought there was one more image with the numbers, but maybe.
Let's scroll down. Not visible.
Yeah, these are just examples. Maybe it's in the tutorial, but the only thing that can be really is if it's sort of halfway, then sometimes it's hard to know if it's on the wall.
So it's never on at the top, right? It's not physically possible.
No, they
So
don't
this,
seem to climb up there.
okay. And this is the tutorial. Each image will have 4 to 8 boxes.
Oh,
And
there it
the
is.
following.
Yeah, 1, 2. There we
Okay.
go.
Okay. I think we're ready to classify, but let's check the other tutorial pages first. Yeah, I'll come back to the tutorial if I need any help. So in box 1, it's not visible, right?
I do not see it. I would say not visible.
Box 2, ground. Oh, box 3 is in the corner, but I don't think it's on the wall.
Yeah, I think ground as well.
And oh, how to scroll this box? Box 4, not visible. Five, not visible. This one is ground. And this one is also ground. I'm not sure, maybe. Box 8, not visible. One. Does the light color have anything to do with the experiment, like red or purple?
I think I think that maybe most of the time they're kept in this low light, just not to disturb them, but um I'm helping a graduate student with this project, so it's actually not my experiment, it's her experiment.
Okay. Okay, so just out of curiosity, actually, I'll just refresh the page. Just check the other photos real quick. Workflow.
Also, Roland, I'm just joining from the phone, taking a little break in between
Oh,
these, but this is Darlene. It's nice to talk to everybody. It sounds like you're making progress on this one, too. I was just wondering if anybody who's tuned in has any questions through chat, or if they're experiencing the project, if they want to add anything to this, too. That's all.
yes. Maria just commented that there is nothing on box 1, and that's correct. Oh, she just asked why are salamanders not going to the top? Like, is the top not robust enough, or they can't physically cling? Like, can they?
This is a great
Can
question. I'm
they?
gonna see if I can ask this is a great question. And I'm not sure. So I'm gonna see if I can chat with the researcher and see if she tells us how come they never come. I never thought about it, but it's like, well, you would think they would.
Yeah,
Especially
because
if they're
and
trying to
this
get out.
photo, yeah, and the photo looks like some kind of soft film. It's not a hard plastic. If you look here,
I think it's just like plastic film, like saran wrap or whatever they, call it. Um,
or maybe the moisture, she said. Yeah, maybe the moisture build up.
And Roland, do you, anytime if you need to do another reminder to make sure that people get credit for it, if they want,
Yes.
if they want the account set up, just a reminder of how to do that if anybody joined late too.
Yes, we will report our participation in all 3 projects, the bees project, the salamander project, and the third one, which is this one, the historical baseline
And,
for plant diversity and distribution.
and that gets reported automatically if they have their account set up. Is that right?
Yes. Or actually, this is not an affiliate project. It has several sub-projects. I'm not sure if one of them is affiliated, but yeah, as a project, it's not affiliated. So this particular one is not automatic.
Okay. Okay. As long as everybody knows how to set it up for the other one, with the info and settings to put the Zooniverse name in. And you already went over
Yes.
that probably.
Yeah, actually, I'll
Anybody
go
has
over
any
that
questions?
again if we have new participants. So yeah, in order to connect your Zooniverse account to SciStarter, you need to go to this Zooniverse page. Let me find it in the chat or here. So you need to go to your Zooniverse settings page where you'll find your display name. Copy and paste. And you also need to go to your SciStarter account page. And this is a one-time process. You only need to do it once. Again, copy and paste in the chat. And you basically make sure that the display name over here is the same one that's showing here under the affiliation integration section, your Zooniverse username. And it's case sensitive. So make sure that the capitalization is correct. And back to these projects. Do you have anything to share about the Salamander project before we... Oh, actually, this is... So when we first went to this project, and before it led us to this workflow, is there another workflow we can participate in under
There
the
are
same project?
no other workflows in this project right now. Just that
Okay.
one. Yeah, great, good question. So it will depend. Some projects might have 10, some projects might have 3. It kind of depends on what's happening at any given time. But today, this one just has 1.
Oh, why does it say it's 35% complete here and 94% complete here?
Great question. So the stats, what we call the ribbon here, is actually everything that's ever been put in this project.
Okay.
So it's a little confusing because it's not exactly the way most people would think about it. But if you go to the stats, view more stats, right there,
Okay.
oh yeah, you got it. You can see that it's it's giving you the actual completeness of just this one. The 96 is like everything that's ever been put in there. So it's a tad confusing in my opinion, but this is the way that
Yeah.
this is the way this universe, they know a lot more about user interfaces than I do, so that's the way they do it. But I think a lot of people see that and think, oh, they're 97% done, but that's not exactly right. 94% done,
Yeah.
but not exactly correct.
And it's still a popular project, like almost 1,000 classifications on April 7
So
and April 13.
this researcher's been doing some outreach, like going to specific places and writing to, amphibian interest groups and things, because she's got a lot to do. And so she's been like making some artwork and sending people stickers and things like that. So she's been getting some days where she engages lots of people. So you saw that there, a week or two ago, she had a day where she had some volunteers helping in person.
Yeah. And interestingly, the two highest bars by far are on a Sunday and on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're finalizing the salamander project. Oh, here's some kind of expand tasks, feedback. What's our third project?
Well, I got a
We-
response. I got a response from the researcher. Do we want to talk about that for a second?
Yes.
So
Going
she
back to
said,
the
they aren't quite as adept at climbing as frogs are. Feet are too small to support their weight completely upside down. So
okay.
it's mostly just because salamanders, I guess, have little feet that aren't that strong. It's a more simple explanation than I would have thought.
Yeah.
So she's added one more little piece. She said, it's more of a surface area adhesion problem because many frogs with large toe pads could sit on the film, but for salamanders, they're just not very good at that sort of climbing.
So it's not the moisture. At least the moisture is not preventing them
Yeah,
from clinging to the sides of the walls.
right. So thank you for the multiple people who asked that, because that I had never thought about it, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I thought we could look at one of the projects it does seem to be an affiliated project. And it's a little more of a like traditional what we do. It's called this We Dig Florida Plants. It's the bottom one there, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought we could look at that one because it is an affiliated project and it's something we've done a lot of, is a lot of these herbarium sort of transcription projects. And since it
It is
isn't
an affiliate.
affiliated, yeah.
So here it is. I assume that this leads to the same page.
Hopefully.
And
It seems like I have to get more affiliated projects on SciStarter, so this is a good reminder.
yeah, definitely. Okay, can you tell us more about this project? Do you want me to go to a specific page or to the tutorial or straight to the
Well,
classify page?
I think we can go to classified, but I can give you a little background, which is actually this has been a really successful project because they've done a lot of work on digitizing plants and learning new things about the distributions of plants in Florida. They've had a lot of different interest groups and people get involved, and it's been quite a sustained effort. So this is an example of sort of a very focused project that's had a lot of long-term benefits and brought in a lot of different like native plant societies and different groups to help with this. So the way that these are mostly set up are by the plant group. So they're from Florida, but then the researcher will pick images of a certain type. And so this one, I'm trying to remember here. I can't remember the exact theme off the top of my head, but basically a specific, family or similar types of plants will all be contained within this one.
Okay. And why would it show us an image labeled finished?
Yeah, so this is again it's best to choose from the menu, not the classify button. I don't know why it's taking you to a completed, but if you go to the main page and then select in the middle of the page here, yeah, that will ensure that you get the newest um an image that has not been looked at by you or anyone else. So
Okay. And what does that mean? Like images retired, are these
oh, great
images
question.
that received enough classifications?
Yep. So we typically do 3 unique users for each task. So each time, basically 3 unique people, and then our algorithm will kind of come up with an answer based on that. So literally 3 different people are going to answer what is the county, and then it checks to ensure. I mean, I got to be honest with you, a lot of we could probably do this with 1 because we get a lot of really good data, and a lot of volunteers are very conscientious, like Roland is, and want to give the right answers. But actually, we also get feedback that people say, I don't want to feel like I'm the only one. So I like knowing that other people are contributing too, and you're going to take the best answer. So we kind of get different points of view on this, but most of ours do 3. And so this one does 3. So that's why it's showing you the number, because let's say you have 1,000 images. If 3 people have to do
Yeah.
them, and really that's 3,000. So it's trying to explain those numbers.
So you have to strike the right balance between increasing the number of users without sacrificing the speed at which the progress the project progresses, right?
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, there's probably, yeah, well, we can talk more about that. But if you want to zoom in, the label is usually in the lower right. So you can kind of zoom in and look. Um, and the first thing it asks you, because all of these are from Florida, so we don't need to ask the country or the state because we already know they're United States and Florida. But then we usually ask the first one is what county in Florida, um, which I am not seeing quite yet. Um, oh, Monroe.
Monroe.
Yeah.
Is this the location?
So I would say the location part is this south side of Bahia Honda Key.
Uh,
See where
so
sort of right above Monroe County where it says S period side.
yeah,
Those numbers are what's called township and range, which is an old way of kind of before a lot of people carried GPS units that you could read that off a map pretty easily.
okay.
So that's what that is. And then the habitat and description, I would enter this information about exterior of corolla pale salmon, low spreading shrub. So it's basically saying, is there any information that describes the plant or the site that's not location?
Okay. And next, collected by
So you actually have
DBW.
you have 2 people. You have DB Ward.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 3 people. DB Ward, D Birch, and G Avery. I think it tells you to put a comma between them.
Okay. Without the number, right? Without
The
43
number
or
will
9.
come in the next field, yeah.
Does that mean that they only want me to list one collector's name?
I believe if you click it, it'll say to put all the collectors.
Okay. Yeah, there are multiple collectors. Where they come
Yeah,
on?
separate with a comma. Yeah.
Birch and another comma, library. 4319. November.
So this one's, you know, it's kind of a bit like medium. I mean, it's not a ton of information to transcribe, but it's, you know, it's got maybe 6 or so, you know, different things. So
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah. There's no next page. This is a different photo. So I'll try to do this one on my own. So by default, we can ignore everything except this bottom right label, correct?
typically, yes. I know that can be a little confusing at first. It takes a little getting used to because there's all this stuff on there and there's color
Yeah.
chips and there's stamps and but usually it's just what's on the label is what we're going for. But sometimes, you know, they'll ask for other things, but usually that's the case. It's the core things that are on the label. The other stuff is more like what I would call management information. It's not really scientific. It's like keeping track of the specimen in the collection or which museums it belong to. But we usually focus on the science-based things. You know, when, where, you know, which organism, that kind of thing. But it kind of varies by expedition a little bit.
Okay. So this one is Palm Beach. Location. Yeah, I think. So if
Yeah, I think
Ocean
Ocean Drive,
location.
Juno Beach, and northward.
Okay. Yeah. And the rest is the habitat.
Yeah, exactly. The rest is referring to the habitat description.
Line over. Do I need to add this part?
Let's see. Vine over Coca Loba, common, flowers white and conspicuous. Yeah, I think that, and that after that you should be good.
So more information is never bad, right? It's better than
That's true.
lacking.
Actually, our
Also.
algorithm accounts for that. If you enter a few extra words or something, it doesn't really penalize that. It tries to be like it's assuming that you're trying to enter more, so it doesn't necessarily think that's bad.
Right. Collected by number.
Hello,
Sorry.
popping in again.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Good. Just got other
Great.
work done too. We're nearing the end of the hour, just FYI, so I just wanted to let
Yeah.
you know.
I think we're just finishing up this one.
Perfect. Ooh,
And we would report our acts as soon as I hit the done button. 1962
awesome.
and done.
Excellent.
This one is an affiliate. Okay, and for the previous 2 projects were not affiliates. So I assume
Ready to
that we
report
don't need to report anything for this project, right?
Yeah. Let's go. Actually, can you head over to your, if you go to your account, you can see, sorry, no, on Zooniverse, my bad. On Zooniverse,
Okay.
we'll go to
My collection.
collections, sure, yeah, let's try that. I think there's a different button. It's the all collections. You actually don't want collections then, I'm sorry, it's the stats. So just go to your regular profile. And then your stats, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so your most recent one, you had 10 on WeDigBio plants, then 1 on the salamander one, and then Bee Bonanza was 4. So you'd be reporting 5x, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so let's show everyone how that goes. Oh, that was, oh, okay. Awesome. Report X. Look at that, we're up another 1,000. Woo, people are working today.
Yeah.
Need to confirm. All right, so you're doing the ones that you did, and then we'll do facilitated after that.
Okay. Here's my email.
And then participated in transcription projects.
Transcription and classification. You also classified, yeah. So just 1 second.
Because we'll write the titles of there on there too, but we have to write them on the other side. So you're not writing the titles yet.
Yeah. So technically, it wasn't trying, like we had to measure the wingspan, or
Oh, then just like measured
we have to
wingspan.
measure size.
Yeah. So
Okay.
instead of participated, I would just say what the actual activity was. So measured wingspan of bees.
Yeah, I forgot.
You can just say
the-
body size. It's called the tegula,
The
Yeah,
tegula?
that's
which is like it's like a proxy for body size. If you measure the tegula, it can help you. It correlates very closely with the overall mass of the bee.
Ooh, bee tegula. Cool. And then
I'm a botanist, so I'm just repeating what the scientists tell me. I'm not trying to act like I really know here.
I see why we did mostly the WeDigBio one, or it looks like you did more of those ones, but maybe it's because you've done that one before, Roland, because it looks like you had more contributions over there. For this one, it was 4, I believe. Yep, you were there. 4, right there. Recent projects. Yeah, 4, and then now you can write in Bee Bonanza, or copy and paste anyway. Notes from nature. Bee. Big Bee Bonanza. I love that name. Oh, wait. Don't submit. Okay, add another.
yeah.
All right, now you can do the salamander temperature thing. Which
Okay.
unfortunately,
Yeah, that was classification.
Hey Caroline,
Like,
Hi guys.
classifying,
welcome to the party.
Hey,
Thank you.
Classifying salamander positions. Oh, I did see
inbox.
this. These weird boxes, the like red ones. I saw that. I was like, what
Yeah.
on earth are they doing?
It's a temperature, like it's like a temperature gradient thing.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Okay,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
basically climate change related.
oh, very cool. With guidance from Project Leader. Nice. Yeah. And then we'll hit submit report, and then we'll do it as a facilitator too. So back to the homepage. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around for the whole hour, Michael. I hope that this was a good version of trying to do a practice training too for the future.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, it's been very helpful for me. I'm noticing some things that I want to fix and change, and it's been very good. Thank you for inviting me.
That is good. Maybe we should do this more often then, all the this type of live stream of basically we're just video game streamers. That's all this is.
Yeah, we definitely do this more often.
Every Monday in
Every day.
and beyond. We'll do it every day, period. For this one, so for anyone who's listening, and so since we did an event, I think we had 10 online as well, except that included me. So let's hit 9, I think. Participate, perfect, yeah. Axe would be 9 as well. We'll just say because of attendance wise, 9 of us were active, 9 of us here, and then that would be if you want to put yours and Michael's names on there. Roland, and then anyone else want their name listed for this one? Oh, Darlene, I saw you chatting during it. Do you want your name listed?
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great. Thank you. And you know what, Emma, I was thinking we kind of do this every Tuesday at 2. We just make it a little more formal.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but yeah, we definitely do more of like the exploration of what the project is. So maybe we can start reformatting it so that we stop, like we do workshop based
Yeah.
to be earlier done and then just
Yeah.
do the practice. It's not always possible to do
Yeah.
that though. So with these ones, definitely, yeah. So we can just make sure
Yeah.
that we do that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
learned a lot.
like the project. Roland,
Well,
remember to hit the project first
yeah.
because it was the event.
So even if they are 3 projects, I will separate them by commas.
Yeah, well, for that one, we would write the event name. So the 12, I think the event name. Let's go back into it and see if,
Okay.
no, don't look, yeah,
Yeah, I
go
can
to-
remove my act and add another one.
I just want to see if it lets you, to make sure that it lets you add in an event. I think it does. I thought I did that the last couple times, but maybe I didn't. Yeah. So project name, type in 12-hour, the 12-hour. Yeah. Okay. So it does count it. So project and event, which helps us. So
Yeah.
we'll know that for the future. Cool. I'd been putting the event or the project name, but that makes more sense now that we have some of the umbrellas. Did Michael, oh yeah, you are still here. Hi. All right. Well, Michael, you are free to go unless you want to help us with more projects on Zooniverse and just do some more gaming, basically. Or we'll
It's
see.
not that I don't want to do that. I just.
That's okay. It's a full 12 hours. It would be a lot to be here for that long.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. We'll see you maybe on SciStarter Live at some point. So we'll be in
All right.
touch.
Sounds great. Okay, bye.
See ya.